When you watch them, especially in the last 4 or 5 games, they've connected consistently against everybody, and he's a big receiver, got great ball skills. Quarterback is very, very talented. He's got NFL arm, and it's tough. When they start so well, they played everybody tough, especially in the first half, and they stress you now. They're going to get a lot of snaps, and you get a receiver of that caliber that has his skill set, and then you get a quarterback that has such a quick release and such a strong arm, and also has deep ball accuracy. Obviously a very very tough challenge for our secondary. It's going to be we're going to have to be at our best.
Coach Wilson, about the recruiting class and needs and stuff. You obviously came in this year. As you've gone through the season, has anything changed as far as what you'd like to see when how you finish off this class defensively? Positions where maybe you thought you were better than you were, or maybe you need something else?
Well, I think that we're pretty close to what we thought we needed. The numbers are pretty close to being what they were. They don't really change a whole lot. You kind of have an idea. Obviously injuries can affect that sometimes. You never know what's going to happen during the season. I think, though, that, we've got a good, strong group up front that of guys committed to us. We need to get some more there, we feel, just because to me, that's where the game is won. And, even from Saturday's game, just the size, and athleticism of the teams that you play, you got to be able to have depth, so you can just roll guys in and keep them fresh and keep them playing hard. So, and then just be able to me, focus is guys that have that extra burst to get to the quarterback. So that's an emphasis for us for sure. And we got some older linebackers that we know we have to be able to replace. And I think Coach even mentioned that as well earlier. But so that was a need going in, and it's still a need for us for sure. And then I think the corner position to me sticks out. Just numbers. You obviously at that position, even though we know that the guys up front are really critical to our success, the guys in the back end, really have got to be able to have length. The receivers they seem like they just keep getting bigger and bigger, every year, and so because of that, you got to have some length, and you have to have the ability to twitch, change of direction wise for us to be able to play the things we want to play in the secondary. So, I would say similar emphasis, that we want, and important class for us for sure, as we build this scheme and build our system and build, the guys that we want, to be a part of this thing. So I think it's, as we have worked really hard during the season to recruit, our staff spends, certain nights of the week getting guys on the phone and sharing it around and really, getting connected with these guys that we're going after, and that's about ready to go, to a contact period here on Sunday. So we'll get in their homes and get in their schools and get with them face to face more than we have in the past. So that's an exciting time for us, and so really, really critical part of the process.
You talked at the start of the season about needing to build a culture where they love each other, they play for each other. Is that maybe the area that's grown the most as the season's gone along from when you arrived to where the defense?
I think that's been a big area of growth for sure. I don't know if it is the biggest. I do know that they're a close group right now that enjoys being with each other and enjoys spending time together off the field. And obviously we spend a lot of time together at the facility here. But just learning to make it not about me is really the key concept to me. And that's what the guys have bought into. The LEO, which we say a lot, and hashtag, and just making it, about something bigger than myself, and being able to trust the guys around you. That to me is what's really changed. And not to say that it's perfect, but definitely something that I really feel like is really, you can see it in our guys' eyes. You can see the way they play as they move together, they work together, they communicate, and so that allows our fits to be better. That allows our resiliency to be better, because it's not about me. It's not just dependent upon what I'm doing, and there's so much more at stake, and it just draws so much more strength from you when you got guys got your back, number one, and number two, you don't want to let them down. So I think that's really the key to major change.
What else is improved? I asked specifically about that.
Mm-hmm.
I should have asked some other coaches in terms of what you saw when you got here, what's
Well, I feel like that we're tackling better, as a group, and I feel like that the guys are in position to make plays, and you're not seeing as many guys, cut loose, as you might say, or not accounted for, and I think that's a big deal. I mean, that all fits into what we've talked about from the beginning of just being, trusting the system, trusting your coaches, trusting your teammates, just trust, period, in everything that we do allows us to work as a unit. It's such a, this great game of football is such a team game, that it demands that you are such a tight group of guys, both on the field, off the field, how you prepare, how you play. And, and as a defensive guy, it eliminates, big plays when you can, have that support around you and the fits are right and and the effort's right and the angles are right. And it helps you tackle better when you're in better position. And just so all those things, we work on tackling so much that it's been, good to see that pay off. And just when you talk to other coaches that go against us, and those are the common themes that just keep rising up when they comment about our guys and how hard they play. We talk about tackling and takeaways and effort. Those are our three mantras on the field, what we want to become. And I think those are the three things that you see from our guys consistently. And once again, some of those, we don't always miss a tackle here and there. We got to get to where we don't do that. But I know, like, for instance, we had a play the other day where, one of our guys was in great position and he just got ran over, So I don't know if it was we just got to get him bigger, stronger, to be able to finish that play. But he did everything we asked him to do. But it's a matter of continuing to develop our guys and keep that buy-in going.
A point of emphasis, finishing games, finishing, in a positive way. How do you get to that point where, because these guys are so close, they struggle with finishing. How do you change that, or is it a matter of talent?
Well, like I said, I think that we've had these discussions, throughout the different games, and it's kind of been, positive to see the growth in that. Like I said, if you talk about this game compared to last week's game and previous games, what were the reasons why we didn't finish? And when you go back and watch the film, and as we've done, and I think this one, kind of came back to I thought there were three plays, that in that third quarter where they gained momentum and we struggled to put the hammer on it. And so, we had that third and long. And we did a great job on third downs. They were 3 for 15, but one of the three that they got was a critical one. When the quarterback, we had a chance to get him sacked, missed the tackle, didn't set the edge. He runs for about 30 yards. Then he gets the fans. He gets fired up. That's kind of his first kind of play that he made. Then the very next play, we misfit a simple inside zone run. And, against a team like this, that has the talent that they have, one bad fit, and it's out the gate. And so those were two of the three plays right there. And then we had another one where the long touchdown run and two drives later. And so to me, I felt like that those lack of finishes was basically we didn't execute the defense and we didn't finish the tackle. Whereas we felt like before we kind of might have wore down in the week before. I felt like that we played so well in the first half that it kept us off the field enough to where, the fatigue piece I don't think became a factor this week. But I felt like that, the missed tackle and not setting the edge, which is just a discipline to me, is what you got to do for that. And then the other two were D-line not getting the right fit. And so it just, to me, that is frustrating because that's we can control that. Now, granted, we got to get them on the ground, and they obviously have, a lot of good players, and they work, extremely hard too, and they're going to try and make their plays. But so I feel like it's kind of been a little different, but I do think it still goes back to expectation. It's that core confidence to know that we're going to find a way to win this game, and I believe the belief is there, and the effort has been tremendous. It's just being able to develop our guys, get them strong enough, get them to where there's not a mistake at a critical time. And you going to play perfect? No. But the thing that was so frustrating was we really played so well, and you really had so few where you could point to, and yet those three plays really were the difference in the game. you know, and I can think back of playing some other places I've been playing, some elite teams there. It's like that's what usually happened. You know, it's like a play or two, you make a mistake against that team, and they make you pay immediately. And it's hard to, you know, the margin for error is so small, you know, and when you're playing a team like that and their venue, you know, they're obviously got a lot of talented players. And so, you know, we needed to be, you know, not perfect, but darn near close, you know, in all three phases. And so, but I was, you know, I just going to continue. What I love about our guys is, you know, they have bought in. You can see it in their eye. They're playing so hard. And to me, it's just about getting that one, I don't want to call it a signature win, but it's that just to be able to be in that moment like we did against Michigan State earlier in the year, do it again. You know, yeah, we did want do it again. And yeah, we've been close, and I told our guys, I don't want to get another text message from any of my buddies saying how hard your kids played and how close you are, because I'm tired of hearing that, okay? Because we just want to finish. We want to finish, and we're going to keep preaching it, and we're going to be relentless in demanding that that's how we practice, that's how we prepare until we get what we want. And so I think the guys are giving us so much, and so I'm so proud of them, and I told them that on Sunday in our meetings, but you know, I just want it so bad for them because I've seen how hard they've worked and how much they want this, and they've played extremely well against some awful good football teams consistently, week after week after week. We just got to, you know, shore that up and find a way to finish.
Possibility of a bowl game after this week. Coach Wilson last year talked about those extra practices you get that a lot of people don't talk about how important those are. For you as a first-year coordinator, how big would those be, not only to work with the guys who are playing, but maybe guys, true freshmen, redshirt freshmen that aren't playing as much, to get them some reps and just kind of work with them? It's almost like another spring ball.
It is. It's extremely important, you know, and based on when you play, determines how many practices you'll get. But every one of those practices is huge. It's huge for your current guys. It's huge for and we're relatively young, so that's going to be really, really important for those, or even our ones and twos to get reps. Our younger guys, if you mentioned, to as a team, to, you know, especially when you have an opportunity to do the things that you can't do with them in the off season. You know, the tackling and the technique and the understanding the scheme and getting guys that maybe be on the scout team, you know, during the season, get some extra reps with them, you know, running our defense, you know, with the younger guys. So, you know, I think that every coach in America would agree that that's a big deal. That's one of the strong advantages of getting to a bowl game and extending your season and getting a chance to maximize your work on your technique.
Revolving door for Purdue a little bit last year. David Blau eventually, I think, wound up sort of taking it on at the end. This year he's obviously been a lot better. What's allowed him to have success this season? And if you've studied any of them from last year to this year, how have you seen him, I guess, improve?
Well, the biggest thing, you know, when you watch him, you know, he's has such a quick release. And he throws the ball with so much, you know, velocity that it's hard. You don't have a lot of time to recover, you know, and that's why everybody wants that kind of release. And sometimes, you know, arm strength isn't as important as accuracy probably, but he can make all those throws that you want him to make. And I think what I've noticed just from watching him from last year to this year is I think they've simplified what they're asking him to read, and it's made him much more effective. And being able to get the ball out quicker and being able to, you know, he's not trying to, you know, maybe is complicated progression, and because of that, you know, he's able to be more accurate, and I think that you see the benefit of that, you know, and I think that they got good receivers around him, and he gets the ball close to him, and they're able to make plays, you know. So I think his deep ball touch has improved, and I think that's something that's allowed him to be able. Anytime you can throw it over your head, and then that's, you know, you're thinking about that all the time. You know, that obviously affects things. So they've done a good job of stretching the field and making you defend that, you know. So, but he's playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, he gets back here and he rips that thing now, man. He's just, you can tell he feels really good in what they're doing and very comfortable in his progressions and reads, and the ball comes out on time, you know. So I think he's pretty good.